Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Baba Bagide Imo TV. I am Mori Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Buhari's 440 honorees should be in prison, Galadima. Nnamdi Kanu lawyer revealed next move as FG refuses. ASU aims at embarking on another strike. On the news again, banditry Zamfara government announces total lockdown in 3 LGAs. Bandits kill security guard, kidnap lawmakers 18-year-old son in Sokoto. 28 men abducted in Plateau, Macban. Police arrest journalists protesting for colleagues' release. And on foreign, Kwasi Kwarteng sacked as Chancellor after mini-budget turnover. And on sports, Liverpool versus Man City. Don't expect anything special. Guardiola. Now the news in detail. A former ally of the president, Major General Muhammad Buhari, retired, Buba Galadima, has faulted the national honors recently given out to some persons by the president. He alleged that out of the 470 honorees, no fewer than 440 among them should be in prison across the country. The Punch report that Buhari on Tuesday in Abuja conferred national honors on at least 447 persons. Those on the honors list include Nigerians and those tagged Friends of Nigeria. The honorees also include living and deceased Nigerians and foreigners. They were conferred with awards ranging from Grand Commander of the Order of Niger to the Federal Republic medals. They include the Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, CON, Taraba State Governor Darius Ishaku, CON, Business Magnate Kensington Adebutu, CFR, Emir of Kano Aminu Bayero, CFR, Olu of Warri Ogiame Atuashe III, CFR, and the former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Wole Olanipekun, CFR, among others. They also include Senator Michael Bamidele, CON, Dr. Samson Ayokole, CON, Justice Idris Arun, OFR, Justice Suleiman Kawu, OFR, Dr. Suleiman Onikijibra, OON, Dr. Kamarun Yusuf, MON, Rear Admiral Abdul Adamu, OFR, Mr. Victor Etuoku, MON, Dr. Abbas Owigwe, CON, Gershon Enshaw, MFR, Adeni Bashir Adewale, MFR, Professor Bolaji Owosoye, OFR, amongst others. Those honored postmortuals include former Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, CFR, former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Atahiru, and aircraftsman Matthew Oyedepo. But speaking on Friday when he appeared on Arise TV's The Morning Show, the Neo-Nigerian People's Party's chieftain alleged that some of those awardees were of doubtful characters. According to Galadima, of the 447 people that were given this national award, I think 440 of them need to be in prisons. Moving to the next story as regards the release of Nnamdi Kanu. The lead counsel for Nnamdi Kanu, Chief Mike Ezekome San, has advised the federal government to obey the judgment of the appeal court by allowing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released. He stated that the judgment will bring peace to the southeast if obeyed. Leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was discharged and acquitted by an appeal court sitting in Abuja on Thursday after Kanu's lawyer had filed an appeal in the court. However, the federal government, through our Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, said that Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and not acquitted. Malami, in a statement, said that the judgment of the appeal court borders only on rendition. Part of the statement reads, reacting to Malami's statements, Ozekome said in an interview on Channels Television that it will respond to court should the federal government go on to appeal the judgment of the appeal court. It is disclosed that they will file a cross appeal. According to Ozekome, the law clearly states that a person can only be tried when the place and time a crime was committed has been established, and in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, the federal government stated that Nnamdi Kanu made a broadcast, but didn't say where he made the broadcast. He added that appeal court overlooked this part. It can be recalled that Nnamdi Kanu has been in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, for a long time. Moving on to the next story as regards ASU. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has claimed its demands have not been satisfactorily addressed, despite agreeing to call off its 8-month-old strike. ASU's National Executive Council, NEC, took the decision to suspend industrial action during its overnight meeting that was rounded up in the early hours of Friday. In a memo signed by the union's president, Emmanuel Oshuneke, they made it clear that some of its issues remain unresolved. Oshuneke also listed some of the stickling points in the negotiations with the National Assembly and the federal government. For the avoidance of doubt, the issues including funding for revitalization of public universities and academic allowances, proliferation of public universities, visitation panels, release of white papers, university transparency and accountability solution (UTAS) as a broad spectrum software to stop illegality and provide for an alternative payment platform in the system, the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement, while appreciating the commendable effort of the leadership of the House of Representatives and other patriotic Nigerians who waded into the matter. NEC noted with regret that the issues in dispute are yet to be satisfactorily addressed, the memo read in part. Moving to the next story in Zamfara State. The Zamfara government on Friday announced a total lockdown in Anka, Bukuyum, and Gomo local government areas, LGAs, following the resurgence of violent attack on communities. The lockdown is contained in a statement issued by the Commissioner for Information, Alhaji Ibrahim Dosara, in Friday in Gusau. The government announces a lockdown in 9 major towns to stop the spate of the attacks on such communities in the affected areas. These are Yakofoji Brindin Tudu, Rini Gora Nameye, Jambako, Farukaya, Boko, and Mother towns. Government also announced the closing down of markets in Enjiba and Bagage, as well as Colony to Lemba Boko Road, Bakura to Lember Damri Road, and Mayachin Daiki Takwis to Gumi Road. Others are the Daiki Takwis to Zuru Road, Kucheri, Bawaganga, Wenke Road, and so forth. The measures were taken to facilitate the effort of security operatives in flushing out criminals elements in those areas, the government said. Governor Bello Matawali also ordered the immediate suspension of all APC meetings and activities as part of his government's concern and sympathy to the affected people and communities. Moving on to the next story as regards insecurity. A vigilante official identified as Madam Bakwai has been killed by bandits who invaded Rimawa village in Goroyun local government area of Sokoto State. The government also injured one Bello Rimawa before abducting Mustafa, the son of the member representing Goroyun constituency at the Sokoto State House of Assembly, Farouk Ahmadu Rimawa. According to Daily Trust report, the attack occurred around 4 p.m. on Wednesday, October 12, 2022. The chairman of the local government area, Abdul Wahab Goroyun, who confirmed the incident, said that the bandits came on different motorcycles, with each carrying 3 armed men. It was gathered that the kidnapped teenage boy was in the village with his mother, but she escaped unhurt. The lawmaker Farouk Ahmadu Rimawa said the bandits called last night but did not make any demand. And to the next story, in Plateau State. The chairman of Meyeti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MACBAN, Plateau State Chapter, Mohammed Nuru, has said not less than 20 of his members have been kidnapped within last week in the state. Nuru, who spoke in Jos yesterday, said the cattle breeders in the state who now live in perpetual fear can hardly go out to graze their cattle. He said, "My members are facing serious threats in Jos South, Jos East, Bokos, and Wasi LGAs. With the help of security agencies, we were able to recover about 500 of our cows and return to the owners in Wasi. The cows were recovered from Biu and Gujubu in Brno and Yobe State, respectively. Many of my members have fled Wasi local government areas as a result of the threat to their lives and flocks, especially Dogorua, Kimbi, Penua, and Kampani Zorak." He commended security agencies and pleaded for more efforts in Jos South, Jos East, and Bokos local government areas where his members face threat. From that story, we will go to another story in Kwara State. Police have arrested 2 journalists while they dispatched others with tear gas while protesting for the release of colleagues held by the Kwara State Police Command in Ilori. Daily Post report that 2 journalists, Dari Akogun and Abdul Rashid Akogun, were invited and have been detained since Thursday by police over a petition by Rafiu Ajakai, the Chief Press Secretary to the Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak. The siblings, according to information, will be charged on Friday. In another development on Friday morning, police arrested 2 journalists for protesting for the release of their colleagues who have been in detention since Thursday. According to journalists with Sobi FM, Toyin Said, many of them suffocated as a result of chemical compounds used by the police to dispatch them, while 2 other journalists were picked. The Kwara State Police Public Relations Officer Ajayi Okasami confirmed the arrest of 2 journalists protesting on Friday. Okasami said the 2 journalists were arrested for causing disturbance. We don't use protests to ask for the release of people in police custody. Either you go to court or approach IPO. We talk to them and they fail to listen, so police had to dispatch them, and we arrested 2 among them and they will be charged to court. The police spokesperson told Daily Post that the protesting journalists will also be charged to court for inciting violence. From Kwara State, we go to the foreign story. Kwasi Kwarteng has been sacked as Chancellor 3 weeks after his mini-budget unleashed chaos in the economy. He was appointed to the role by Liz Truss only 38 days ago, making him the second shortest serving Chancellor after Lion McLaw, who died a month after being handed the job by Edward Heath. Number 10 announced an hour after his sacking that Jeremy Hunt was replacing him. Mr. Kwarteng's downfall was set in motion by the mini-budget on 23rd September, in which he announced 45 billion euros in a foreign tax cut. The mini-budget pushed the pound to a record low against the dollar, sent the cost of government borrowing and mortgage rates up, and led to an unprecedented intervention by the Bank of England. Chris Philip, who was heavily involved in plans for the mini-budget, has also lost his job as Chief Secretary to the Treasury, but has been moved to the Cabinet Office as Paymaster General. In Mr. Kwang's letter to Ms. Truss accepting he had been sacked, he said, "You have asked me to stand aside as a Chancellor. I have accepted." And finally, on sports. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has admitted that Sunday's clash at Liverpool will be a tough game, but the Spaniard also warned pundits and fans not to expect anything else special. City have gone head-to-head with Liverpool for the title in the last 5 years, but Georgie Klopp's men have begun this campaign badly and are already 14 points off the current leaders, Arsenal. However, Guardiola is not looking at their league position as he takes his side to Anfield. Always difficult going to Liverpool, a tough game, don't expect anything else special. It's important we qualify for the last 16 for 10 years in a row. The Liverpool game will be dictated by what is played on the pitch, not by whether we are in front or they are behind. Nothing changes for the situation of Liverpool being where they are in the table. Guardiola told the media on Friday to expect nothing else special. That wraps it up on the world news from BGI. Before we go, some major headlines. Buhari's 440 honorees should be in prison, Galadima, former ally. In Nnamdi Kanu, lawyer reveal next move as FG refuses to obey court's ruling. We're also brought to you as regards ASU. ASU hints at embarking on another strike. And finally on sports, Liverpool versus Man City. Don't expect anything special, Guardiola. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Bababagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, the handle is Bagede Imo _22 for advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function. Please dial the phone number screening on your screen for advert placement only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.